try to fix your lash a little bit. She reaches over to fix her lash, and Marsau says, "Don't cry, Mel. Nobody crying over you, Marsau." She said, I can guarantee you, Marsau, I am not crying over you. And your wife, Tisha, she ain't gonna cry over you either when she leave your manipulative lying ass." He says, "Oh, so you want my family to be in a single parent home?" Sir, they already are in a single parent home. You didn't even know your son was allergic to peanut butter. Mel, get him together. Yes, girl. This is what we want to see. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective. And today I'm coming at you with another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 7, episode 3, Mel versus Marsau round 5. Y'all already know the vibes. Check out my playlist. I cover books, TV, all kinds of things, movies, gossip. Check out my playlist. You'll get it there. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Let's get into it. So we're coming off the heels, walking into an empty ass event. I'm like, ain't nobody up in here. And did they put the decorations up? We're still at the baby reveal. I'm like, I still don't see hardly any decorations. It's empty. Nobody's hardly here. It's only about 5 people. I said, this event was produced. This event was production induced. That's what this was. Tisha finally shows up after Tiffany kind of lingered around, didn't know if she was going to come because she didn't RSVP. You know how they play that music that, I don't know, like you're pulling a knife out of a sheath or something. It's that that shrill. I hate when they do that. It's so annoying. I guess Tisha was feeding off the energy that was left from the women were actually talking about the expo and trying to get to the bottom of the information. So I guess Tisha walked in on the heels of that and is picking up the energy from that. She's like, "Why is everybody so quiet?" And she said, "I reached for Stormy, but Stormy is being so quiet." I'm like, "Well, girl, it's empty in here." I mean, I don't understand why you would think there would be a whole bunch of hoopla going on. It's real empty in here. They Keisha sits down and who brings up, oh, it was Kimmi that brought up the Black Expo. So Kimmi brings it up and Tisha's like, "Oh no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it." She says, "Don't you want to have feedback?" Tisha says, I don't need feedback." Girl, yes you do. Yes you do. Miss Nell brings up the fact that, she's still feeling salty about the situation and how you had told her. And I don't think I remember hearing this from the last episode, but Tisha told them, the Fletchers, that they were going to invite them to the expo and just did not do it. So Miss Nell and Tisha get into a back and forth. And in this moment, I was like, the Fletchers need to have put Tiffany and Lewis on the back burner, make them a friend of the show. Let Miss Nell and them be in the credits, because Miss Nell was handling herself, and a couple of them in the show as well. I think Miss Nell was talking and Mel, I guess, was trying to help her. Miss Nell was like, baby, I got this. I hate Miss Nell. I like her. What I don't Okay, so I feel two ways. I feel two ways. Two ways. One is, Miss Nell, you already talked to Tisha about this at dinner the episode before for us, right? Y'all already talked about it. You got her explanation as to why she feels the way she feels, even though it's bullshit. You already know it's bullshit. It's really no point of bringing this up again. But I also understand that this probably recently happened. The way Tisha is not really truly addressing everything, there are still things that are sketchy about what happened. And some people paid, some people didn't pay. There's mixed information. So I understand why people are bringing it up again, because there's a lot of missing information. And Tisha, you need to be here to be able to answer those. You need to stand 10 toes down and defend what you and your husband were doing. I understand why she feels like this is old information. Miss Nell already talked to you about this, but also, ma'am, this is still, there's a lot of mixed information, and you need to be standing 10 toes down, defending and providing an explanation, because people gave their money and time and talent. That's value. this conversation is actually happening without Tiffany because she's over in the corner nursing the baby. She walks over, brings the baby, shows the baby. He is so cute. Oh my goodness. I think they actually moved to a different location at this point as she's walking over to them to greet everybody. Somebody comes to grab the baby so they can continue the conversation, and Tiffany kicks off and starts saying something shady. Oh yeah, Tiffany asks, what are y'all talking about? And Mel says, oh, we were talking about the Blacks at Expo. Somebody paid $100 or something didn't do this and somebody didn't do that. And Tiffany sits down and she says, yeah, if people still have things that they want to say about the expo, maybe they should have another one and improve it. She was like, I can keep the front row warm. And everybody's like, oh Lord, here she go being shady. And Miss Nell says, Tiffany says, I'm not trying to be messy. We already had the conversation. I wanted to talk to Tisha about it, but when we sat down, all of us at lunch, Stormy got into it with Tisha about $100. And Miss Nell was like, hold on, what's going on with $100? I said, yes, yes, yes. I can't wait till this lie come to light. Marsau told that lie saying that nobody paid for anything. Nobody was charged for anything. Miss Nell said, wait a minute. Who was paid $100? I want to know. Stormy didn't want to say anything. And I understand why Stormy didn't want to say anything because she didn't want to be in the middle of it. Like, I don't want to be in the middle of no mess. I'm not trying to kick nothing up. I understood, but also at the same time, I'm like, you might as well, because just a few minutes ago, you was telling everybody it was a shit show. So you might as well just say it right now. And you were saying it without Tisha. So you might as well go ahead and say it right now. Miss Nell was like, Stormy, can you talk for yourself? I want to know what's going on with the $100. I said, ooh, 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 ooh. Miss Nell gathering all of y'all. She getting y'all together. So Stormy doesn't say anything. Tiffany mentions it. She says, some people were paid and some people didn't pay. And Miss Nell says, Marsau told us that nobody paid for anything. No one was charged for anything. So we want to know where this money, what's going on? Did y'all make money off of anything? So all the attention is put back onto Tisha. Tisha, you have some answers to provide, boo. Did the people pay? And if people did pay, why were they paid? Where is this money going? I think, and Tisha gets up, she feels like everybody is attacking her. She gets up and says, oh, I just feel like this is giving hater vibes. I cannot stand when people are being held accountable for something, the first thing they say is, oh, you're jealous, or oh, you're a hater. No, I want an explanation as to where my time, talent, and money, my valuable items, my valuable assets, where the hell did they go? And how did you profit off them? She said, I just don't think it's anybody's business, what was paid for when we threw our event. Again, you're being secretive about the money, and people have donated their time, their talents, their assets, their their values, their valuables to this. You owe them an explanation. I think the reason why Tisha is so defensive though is because she really don't know what the hell going on either. If y'all remember on the episode when Marsau decides that he wanted to charge Stormy $100. He came up with that off the cuff. He said to her, I'm gonna charge her $100. He literally came up with that off the cuff. Tisha didn't even know that that's what we were doing. She was like, why would we do that? We're not asking anybody to pay for anything. So I just think that the reason why Tisha is so defensive is because Tisha don't know what the hell going on around there either. And we talk about that a little bit when Mel goes to see Miss Nell. So Stormy says, your husband, he be acting like a woman. I cannot stand. That's like a huge pet peeve of mine. Please stop trying to tack on negative attributes of men to say that that's a woman's trait. Like I hate, you're insulting yourself when you do that as a woman. Oh, you acting like a bitch. You acting like a woman. No, okay. So then that means you're saying that women that's the only negative trait that you see in women. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think that that's good. I think ultimately what everybody has concluded is that, Tisha, we're not going to come to you because we know you don't know nothing and he don't tell you nothing and he be running circles around your ass. What we are going to do is go straight to the source. We're going right to your husband. Tisha, your husband is the problem. And I'm so glad in this moment they realized that I'm not coming to Tisha about, because even Stormy was like, how do we come to you, Tisha, when we have a problem with your husband and he acting and carrying on? It's like, it's not even our problem with you. Our problem is your husband. So Mel said it perfectly in the confessional. I'm not about to even come to Tisha. I'm not even gonna have beef with her. What I am gonna do is go straight to the source. I say I know that's right because he been a problem the whole motherfucking time. Kimmi and Maurice. So Kimmi and Maurice are renovating their office space, and Micah is Maurice's brother. He is the project manager for this. Kimmi in the confessional says, it's time to go manage the manager. And I said, oh God, what are we getting into again? Micah again is Maurice's brother, and when I tell you, I need to know who their parents are. I need to meet. We saw their dad, and I think we talked a little bit to their mother. Now, their dad seemed like he had some good sense, but I don't know where these brothers get this inflated sense of self. When I tell you, they have the most grandiose thought process. They think that they are the kings of the world and the most smartest men in the room. I do not understand where this mentality came from. They all think like this. Micah says that the project is going to be done by the first. I don't know what day they are when they're taping this, but Kimmy's looking around like, sir, this is not going to be fixed and finished by the first. And you've been late on deadlines before. This is the maybe second or third time you've told us that it's going to be ready by a certain deadline, and it's not. And Micah says, listen, trust my genius. I got this. And he walks away. I said, oh my God. Maurice said nothing. Maurice says nothing. Kimmi was looking at him like, are you going to say something? And he's like, well, don't look at me. What you want me to say? You're supposed to be the quote unquote head of household. You're supposed to be quote unquote the leader of your family. This is your brother, one, your brother. Two, you supposed to be the lead. Do Kimmi have to do all the heavy lifting of everything? If that's the case, then let her put the pants on in the relationship and you sit back and be quiet. Like, see, that's what I don't like. It's the same situation with their son, little Maurice, with Maurice and Maurice Jr. Same situation. Kimmy's having to do all the heavy lifting. Maurice just want to sit back and not say nothing, but then he still want to be considered the man of the family and beat on his big old frumpy chest. Cannot stand these men. I do just wanted to say Kimmi is such an excellent communicator. They start talking about the situation with Tisha and Marsau and how she just got some new information from this Miss Nell saying that Marsau told Miss Nell and the Fletchers that nobody had to pay anything. She's bringing this to Maurice saying, Maurice, I found out that you had to pay. And he was like, yeah, I paid Marsau $100, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think y'all, unpopular opinion. I think Maurice lying. I don't think Marsau charged him anything. I don't think they paid anything. I think what Marsau told Maurice to do is to tell people he paid, just so if the information got back around again, like if Stormy went to sniffing around or if anybody went to sniffing around, they would the story would check out. They could say, oh well, such and such paid as well. I don't think Maurice paid, and the reason why I don't think Maurice paid is because he wasn't mad enough. He was not mad enough. Like, oh, you mean to tell me he said nobody paid, but he wasn't mad enough. The story just I said, y'all, you Maurice, you lying. You didn't pay nothing. Marsau just decided in that moment at the Black Expo that he wanted to start charging people whoever he thought he could charge. That's what he wanted. It was a shakedown. That's what that was. A last minute shakedown for Marsau. All right, so we get to Mel going to visit Miss Nell at her daycare. I think it was Excellent Smiles or something like that. I can't remember. It's a daycare child. Wrote in capital letters, Miss Nell can stay. Put her in the opening credit. Her and Chris in the opening credits. Starting to like them, y'all. I am starting to like them. Miss Nell talks about how she was just disappointed with Marsau and Tisha and how they didn't invite them to the Black Business Expo. And how the Fletchers supported Black, not only their restaurant, but chocolate in a bottle and all the cigar. They supported these businesses. She was like, we've been in Huntsville. We're literally almost around the corner from them. We've been in North Huntsville for 30 years and we've supported them. So I don't understand why they wouldn't come to us to talk to us about the Black Business Expo and being a part of it. And so I think Miss Nell thinks like I do. She thinks that Tisha don't know nothing what's going on. So they show us a flashback of Tisha asking, what percentage do you work or what percentage do you own in your company? And Miss Nell was like talking to Chris like 50-50. And Tisha says, oh, I own 85%. Now I can't asking, why did she bring this up? And the way she responded, saying she owns 85%. Oh, now I realize. I think Tisha was talking about how she got kicked out of her own office, got kicked out of the company. So Miss Nell and Chris in the flashback were like, "You say you own 85% of a company you got kicked out of?" Child, I said, "Oh no, girl." And I guess that's the reason why Tisha asked that and responded, because she's feeling the way, same kind of way that Miss Nell would be too, or anybody who owns allegedly 85% of a company. Kicking me out of my own business, I own 85%. I'm a majority shareholder. I'm kidding. Anyway, so I'm with Miss Nell. She don't know what's going on around her. And Mel brings up the thing that I had been thinking. I had thought two things. I said it's either she has really good credit, and so that's why he made her 85%, or because of government contracting. So with government contracts, they're pushing for diversity and inclusion. And so you can get incentives, and your package or proposal can be a little bit more enticing for the government when you're a woman owned business. And so if husbands make their wives, 85, 90% business owners, they can actually put woman owned on the company or on the proposal, and that would look better when they're proposing to the government. And honestly, I think that's what it is. I think she got good credit, and I think he's looking for government contracting, and it's better if it's woman owned, because Tisha don't know nothing about nothing. Tisha knows absolutely nothing about nothing when it comes to their business. And I was with her. I think Mill was absolutely right. She also spills a little tea about them raising money for a $150,000 house. I was like, is y'all raising money? Don't y'all need to be trying to pay attention to y'all own house that y'all trying to build? Sweep around your own front porch, okay? Baby, they need to be trying to raise funds for their own house. $150,000 for a a family that can't afford it. Baby, what about y'all? Can y'all afford it? So, child. And we find out both Tisha and Mel are blocked on social media. I'm with Miss Nell. Y'all are frenemies. Not y'all aren't real friends, but I understand why. I understand why. Mel says it best. Marsau is scared of Tisha, getting her wings and leaving, because all of the dirt that he does, he has it made. He has somebody who's going to take care of the family, so he doesn't have to. She's taking care of literally everything. He has it laid out so that he can do whatever he wants. Why would he want to mess that up? He got everything he wants. KeKe and her husband. This scene was very awkward to me. I think that there are KeKe's husband, I didn't catch his name. He didn't want to look into the camera. Something is going on. I think that he knows more, but he not trying to throw his wife under the bus. I know your real tea, and I'm not gonna spill it, but your real tea really make me mad. So I'm trying to pretend like ain't nothing going on, and I'm gonna try to have your back in this scene, so I'm not spilling your tea and embarrassing you. But I know the real tea, and it's making me mad. Like, that's what it is. That's what I get. Y'all tell me what y'all think, because that's what I got from that scene. And it was also edited a little bit choppy, because one minute you see him cooking, seasoning the chicken, and the next minute you see him washing his hands and he putting soap on his hands. And I'm like, well, did he rinse it? And then he went back to it again, and then you see him back at the sink again. I'm just like, that sequence didn't go well. That sequence didn't go well. Didn't go well. And so we finally I'm so glad. So Mel invites Marsau to have coffee so that she can check him. And I'm so glad she did this. Marsau big oompa loompa with he done got so, his button open and everything. Can't even button all his shirt up. Ew. So he sits down. Mel says, this could have gone two ways, right? I have a positive attitude today, praise the Lord, all right? Because I decided that I was going to be a good communicator. I wasn't going to go left on your raggedy ass, although I should, but I will not. And Marcel's, well, see, that's because we're intelligent adults. So I said, the entire time I was like, F you, Marcel. I kept saying it. Probably said F you, Marcel, probably about 8 or 9 times through this entire scene. Mel brings up the situation. I heard that you were trying to diminish my business acumen by reducing my business, by my business ventures down to just simple e-commerce and t-shirt selling. He says, I wasn't trying to do that. It was taken out of context. he said, I really don't think highly of those businesses, those types of businesses. She said, well, you're doing the same thing you're doing the exact same thing. He said, and I still don't think highly of it. She said, why would you be in a business that you don't think highly of? He says, to make money. He said, you are such a sleaze bag. You are such a sleaze, such a sleaze. She goes then and says, you are trying to reduce my business acumen. You are trying to reduce me down to just some t-shirt peddling snake oil salesman. That's what you're trying to do, and I don't appreciate it. Marsau was like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. If you can just listen. Nope, it was taken out of context. That's not what I was saying. Again, denying it and deflecting and carrying on. Mel reaches for her eyelash to just fix it. He thinks that is her crying. And ain't nobody crying over you, Marsau. And she said the same thing. She's like, Negro, please. Ain't nobody crying over you, and not even your wife, Tisha, when she leave your lying, manipulative ass. He sits back and says, oh, you want us to be in a single parent home? Baby, they already in a single parent home. Them kids don't even know you like that. You be gone all the time. Nigga, you packed up and went to Africa and left them kids and your wife. You went on a whole nother continent and left them kids. You was like, them kids. So why should she be worried about having kids being raised in a single parent home at this point anyway? You don't do nothing. You in probably season 1 or 2, you said them was Tisha's kids anyway. So she might as well get up and leave you because she doing all the work anyway. Child. But I also caught is that he didn't deny that he's manipulative and lying. Did y'all catch that? He didn't deny that either. He just sat there. Now it may have been edited wrong or different or to make it seem like that. But baby, he did not deny. He did not deny. Anyway, y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about the episode. Y'all, Love and Marriage Huntsville gets me riled up every single time. Every single freaking time. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the episode. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.